Peace, my beautiful souls. Okay, I wanted to come talk about something that I feel that we do quite often, and I realized I did it way more than I thought I did recently, like analyzing my past relationships and going through letting myself like take out what I was meant to learn through these relationships, because I think that's one of the most important things that we can do is allow ourselves to learn from things. And I don't think any relationships that like didn't work out are failures. I think they worked out like just as they were meant to. We were meant to learn things, go through certain things, heal from certain things, be triggered by certain things, if that makes sense. And we can do this in multiple different type of ways, what I'm talking about, but I'm going to keep it specific to romantic relationships. And what I'm talking about is going into victim mode. I feel like it's quite easy for us, not sometimes, not always, but it's easier for us to see when someone else is like putting themselves in victim mode and just acting like they have absolutely no fault. But it's harder for us to see it when we're doing it to ourselves, especially when we stay in these relationships for months or especially years at a time, some people even decades, allowing this person to do these things and to us, right? Whether that be cheating, just being disrespectful, physical violence, emotional abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, all these things, right? And sometimes we stay and we're like, oh, well, I'm staying because I love them or whatever the case may be, but they keep doing this to me, they keep doing that to me, blah, 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 right? You're putting yourself in victim mode because you're allowing them to do these things. You're choosing to stay. It's up to you whether or not you want to tolerate this behavior and take the things that these people are doing to you, right? Or you can look at it like they're doing these things for me to get up, get back to myself, water myself with love, and get out and open the door for me to actually align with my divine partner and align with myself. Really, firstly, that's where it is, because if you're with someone and you're allowing these things to happen, they could be small things, which everything adds up, even being lied to for absolutely no reason. Even if you understand why the person is doing the things they're doing, right? That doesn't mean that you have to tolerate it. And you keep saying they're doing this to me. You're doing it to you. Okay? You're choosing to stay in this relationship for whatever reason or excuse you want to give yourself as to why you're doing it. You cannot put all the blame on that person. Yes, they are acting out these things, right? But again, you are allowing them to do that to you time and time again. Even if you let it slide one time, usually people peep that, like they know what they can and can't do. And that's a part of acknowledging the red flags off rip and acting accordingly. And I'm talking to me just as much as I'm talking to you. Like I said, this is something I noticed that I've done a lot, and I say, they did this, they keep doing that, blah 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 blah, but I'm the one really doing it to myself. This is why I now understand also why people say you can't really love someone till you love yourself, because you even allowing someone to do these things that you know are not right, and in so many different ways, you're not actually loving them. This is like a fear thing at this point, like an attachment. You're scared of letting them go for whatever reason, and you're not giving yourself at all the proper love, and in no way can that be healthy, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because we tend to just forget in a lot of different ways. But again, I'm just focusing on the romantic aspect here because I feel like this is what people struggle with the most. But we tend to forget we have the power, we have the control. Like, we can choose to walk away. We don't have to. And another thing I did, like, I wanted to wait for that person to break up with me because I felt bad. But most of the time, for certain people, there's always two sides of it. For certain people, you cannot wait for that person to leave you because they're not going to, especially if they know that they can do all these things, right? And you're always forgiving, you're always going to be right there, right? You have to leave. You have to be the one to end the relationship, or else everything is going to keep going. I'm sorry, this keeps bothering me. Anyways, or else everything is gonna just keep going the way it's going. Most of the time people will show you whether or not they actually are willing to change and wanting to change. And then also, it's just like, there's like, I get relationships have ups and downs, but there's certain things that should just not happen. If someone truly is loving you, which again means they're truly loving themselves, they're not going to do certain things. They're just not. It's not going to happen. Again, you will always be triggered, most likely in your relationships, even in a healthy one, to a certain extent, while you guys are still learning each other and healing certain things, right? But there's a fine line between like being triggered by certain things that just trigger you based off things you've been through versus blatant disrespect and abuse. You get what I'm saying? Certain things it shouldn't have to happen even once. Even lying, again, even a simple lie. If someone is really in truth with themselves and really watering themselves with love, they're not going to lie to you. Unless we want to talk about like a surprise, whatever, and they gotta lie. But y'all get what I'm saying. And I'm talking to myself too, because I've noticed, again, even myself, I would lie about like really being more into the person than I really was, again, out of feeling bad, and then also a lack of love for myself, feeling like I have to settle, being afraid that I wouldn't get to my divine person. Again, forgetting I gotta water myself completely and be completely honest with myself to be with them. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So take yourself out of victim mode. Clock when you're in victim mode, even when the other person is in victim mode. But again, we're talking about you. We're going to talk about you, us, our actual selves, not the outside person or the other person, because it all starts with you and it all ends with you. Got me? All right. I love you. See you later.